I have created for you the best Italian winter dinner menu. Oh yeah, you guys are gonna love this. It's warm, it's easy to make, and it's delicious. This warm winter meal is more for a weekend where you have more time for cooking. And I've got 4 dishes involved: an antipasto, a risotto, a main course, and a dessert. The antipasto for this menu is ham and cheese croquettes. Oh, the frying makes you warm up. The frying, when you eat the frying food, makes you excited. So watch this recipe and learn how to make my croquettes. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm taking you to my childhood in Italy. These are the filled ham and mozzarella fried croquettes. Now what we want to do now is put the potatoes in water and then we're going to boil it, okay? You don't need to put any salt. So once the water starts boiling, you count about 15-20 minutes and then you go and check with a fork. If, when you put a fork inside, it's nice and moist, you take them out. Now what we're gonna do with the potato is we're gonna put the potato in the masher, but we wanna put the skin on top. So when I squash, the skin stays inside, okay? I'm gonna show you. And the potato comes out. See? Perfect. Now those beautiful potatoes are ready. So what we wanna do is we wanna wait 5 minutes for them to cool down, and then we add the ingredients inside. So place it in the fridge just for about 5 minutes. What we do now, we put all the ingredients inside. So we start from the parsley everywhere, put the pecorino everywhere, pecorino cheese. Pecorino cheese will give the more flavor to the potato. Can I be honest, you wanna add more pecorino? You add more. The more you put, the better it is. Time for the nutmeg. Put as much as you want. A little bit of salt and a generous amount of pepper. Yum. Last but not least, we're gonna use the egg. So, crack the egg and put the egg inside. The egg is gonna help us to combine all the ingredients. Now we use one hand and we mix all the ingredients. Yeah, just like that. Okay, now let's add the filling into the croquettes. So what we do is have a little bit of water on the side so you can wet the palm of your hands, okay? We get an amount of croquettes, just like this. You don't want to make them too big, okay? Let's make them a normal, decent size, okay? Now what we do is we make a hole in there so we can add the mozzarella, we can add the ham, and then we can actually close it, okay? So we want to be able to do this and then close it, just like that. Now you can choose to make the croquette long, like now, like this one. You can make your croquettes round. It's up to you, okay? Today I'm choosing to make them nice and long, like this, okay? And now we let it rest on the baking paper. Just make sure, see the edges are square. Okay, perfect. Let's make another one. Come on, guys. Get 1 egg wash, some breadcrumbs, and what we do is we are gonna get the croquette, and we put it in the egg. Just use one hand when you do this. Put it in the egg. Now, from the egg, on the bread, use the other hand to put the bread on top. Just like this. Move it around. Perfect. You want to make sure the bread goes on every side, on every corner. Perfect. Put it back in here. And here are the beautiful croquettes for you. Look how beautiful they are. 15 croquettes made with love. Now let's fry them. How do we fry them? You can use sunflower oil or peanut oil, but if someone is allergic, you can use it. So I'm going for sunflower oil, okay? And I'm gonna cook about 5 at a time, okay? The oil is nice and hot. And here we go. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 at a time. And it's gonna take about 3 minutes for them to cook, okay? 3 minutes will allow to cook the sides. It would allow for the cheese to melt. Oh, look how beautiful they are. Look at the color. The first batch will cook faster because the oil is very hot, but you will see that the more you cook, the more the oil will get colder. Basically, the croquettes are ready when they become golden brown. Does it look ready to you? It looks ready to me. Okay, now let's take them out and put it on a plate with paper so it absorbs the oil. Best part of the recipe, time to eat. Crunchy to perfection. The risotto we're making is the mushroom risotto. Perfect for winter. The amount of butter we put in there, the cheese, the mushrooms. You can choose the mushrooms that you like. I chose porcini. Now watch this recipe and enjoy. Have you ever seen such a beautiful creamy risotto? No, you didn't, because I've been practicing to make the best risotto recipe you can find on YouTube. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen, a creamy risotto without the cream. Now, we start by cooking the porcini mushrooms. So we put about 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil in a small non-stick pan. And then we're gonna add the mushrooms in there, okay? We put the mushrooms in there and we gently cook them. Put a little bit of salt. And let's put half of the parsley that we cut in there. We need the other half for the final touch of the risotto. Now these mushrooms need to cook for about 15 minutes. So what we do now is we stir every 5 minutes, and at the same time we are going to make the risotto. So let's start cooking the rice. To cook the perfect risotto, and I'm using carnaroli rice, we start by adding extra virgin olive oil in the pan. You can use about 2-3 tablespoons, okay? And then straight away I'm going to add the onion. Now the onion needs to cook for about 10 minutes, gently on a medium-low heat. This is done on a medium-low heat. Don't stress, don't rush. Be gentle. If you're going to rush this and put the fire on a high heat, this is gonna burn. Take your time, please. You know, we want everything to be made with love. Before we add any liquid, we are going to toast the rice. So what we do is we put the rice in there, we stir, and we are going to toast for about 4 minutes. Now, on the packet, it will tell you how long the rice needs to cook. It can be, let's say, between 15 to 20 minutes. That's an average. So read the instruction. On my packet it says 18 minutes. Now that we are toasting the rice, you don't count this as a cooking time, okay? We're just toasting first to give more flavors to the rice. When we start adding the liquid, it's when we start counting the time. Now here I'm using a non-stick pan, okay, so I'm a little bit safer. But if you're using a stainless steel, you need to keep stirring. You don't want the rice to get stuck or to burn, okay? Very important. We want to toast it, but not burn it. So after 3-4 minutes that you have been toasting the rice, now we're starting to cook the rice. So here I've got half glass of wine, we put it in, and we start counting the cooking time. So for me, it's 18 minutes from now. So at this point, it's very important, guys, that we don't have the rice dry. We want the rice to be moist. We want the rice to be covered by liquid, okay? So when the wine evaporates, we need to start adding the vegetable stock. So as you can see, this rice releases lots of starch. Look how creamy it is already. Look how creamy this is. This is how important it is to use a good quality rice. The wine evaporated into my nose, and now it's time to add the vegetable stock. And I'm going to add a tablespoon at a time. Let's see if it covers. Yeah, that's perfect. We might not need to use 1 liter of stock. Maybe we need less. You want to make sure you stay next to the rice. Be gentle, talk to the rice if you want, and see here, we have covered the rice just enough. You don't want to immerse the rice in a lot of water at the same time, okay? You want to do this a little bit at a time. So we want to keep stirring, so the rice from the top goes to the bottom, from the bottom goes to the top. It keeps moving, keeps cooking. Look how creamy already it is. Look how creamy. We can't have it because the rice is a bit too hard, but it's already creamy. Really, really creamy. Now, as you can see here, it's getting drier. We need to add more stock. Let's put another spoon of stock. And the reason you need to cook this gently at a very, very low heat is because you don't need to rush it. It will still take 18 minutes, even if you do it fast. But if you do it fast, you burn everything, you're rushing everything. You're not in a restaurant, this is home. You're cooking for yourself. So put love into your belly. All right, here we need more stock. It's drying up, still beautiful. Look how creamy this is. We actually don't have much to go. We have about 7 minutes to go. Let's put another generous amount of stock in there. Stir, always stir. Guys, we have 3 minutes to go. 3 minutes. So what do? We're going to put the mushrooms in the rice. Now this is where the magic begins. I'm gonna put the porcini mushrooms in there, and I keep some. I can use it to decorate the plates. We're going to add a little bit of stock, not too much, just a little bit. And we got 3 more minutes to cook. 3 more minutes with the mushrooms and the risotto are making love together. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is our risotto in porcini mushrooms make love together. This is food porn at its best. Oh yeah. As you can see, it's a little bit dry, see, because the mushrooms are absorbing the water. Let's put a little bit more water. I don't want to have this too dry. Let's put a little bit more water. Let's put a little bit more. Here we go, here we go, here we go. It's very important it's moist. We've got 2 minutes to go now. I don't want this to be dry. Here, let's add a little bit more. 2 minutes to go. And I want the rice to cook perfectly. I want this to be creamier than a carbonara. Creamier than a cacio e pepe. Come on, let's do it. 30 more seconds to go. This is fascinating. This is beautiful. This is creamy. Look at that cream. Look at that cream over there. Look at the cream over there. Look at the cream. Look, this is all cream, guys. Now, before we stop, let's make sure the rice is cooked. It's creamy. It's al dente, the way I like it. I always recommend you to taste it, because maybe you need to cook the rice a little bit longer, or maybe you overcooked it. Perfect, guys. Look at this. Look at this stunning risotto. Porcini mushrooms risotto, made in 25 minutes with simple ingredients. You don't like mushrooms? I am sorry for you. You can replace it with zucchini, replace it with radicchio, replace it with sausages, replace it with eggplants, replace it with prawns, anything you want. That's the beauty of the risotto. Do not put pineapple, please. Okay, now off the stove. You do not want the pan to be on the fire anymore. All right, we are ready now to put butter and Parmigiano. We start by adding the butter. It's nice and soft. We put it in there. I've got 50 grams of butter. And what the butter is gonna do is going to make this super, super creamy. So stir the butter. We want the butter to go everywhere. Melt the butter, yeah. Butter is still melting, and at the same time, we're going to add a nice, generous amount of Parmigiano Reggiano. You can actually use pecorino cheese if you don't like Parmigiano. I always have pecorino in my house, and I've used pecorino, and it's still delicious. And look how creamy this is now. Look at that. Look at the creaminess. Look at how creamy this beautiful, beautiful risotto is. Look how creamy. Can you get a creamier than this? You tell me if you can get a creamier than this. Come on, let's serve our risotto. Let's do a nice spadellata, if you can. I'm using the wok, you know, so why not? Let's do it. Let's enjoy this movement. Look at this marvelous creation, guys. Look at this beautiful marvelous creation. What a beautiful, beautiful northern Italian dish. Amazing, look at that. Okay guys, let's serve this beautiful pasta. Oh, look at that, look how creamy. Yeah, come on, put it in the plate gently, gently. Oh, yes. Now you put a large amount in the plate, then you don't stir. What you do is you go underneath with your palm of your hands and you move it, you shake, you punch a little bit at the bottom so the rice, because it's creamy, the rice will be able to move on its own. You don't need to spread it. Then the final touch is we add the porcini mushrooms that we have left in the pan. We put a little bit of chopped parsley and then we're ready to serve and enjoy this marvelous northern Italian delicacy. I am not sure if you understand the creaminess of this dish. Can the camera tell you, explain to you how creamy this is? The main course I chose is the Italian beef stew. Amazing! Melts in your mouth. Beautiful. And those potatoes in it, they make it so nice and creamy without the cream. Enjoy this recipe. Slow cooked Italian braised beef. Oh, it melts in your mouth. It brings happiness into your belly. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get a nice pot, okay? We wanna use a nice, important pot, and we put about 3 to 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, okay? And what we do now is a soffritto, the base of every Italian sauce, okay? We're gonna put the onion, the carrots, and the celery in there, and we cook for about 10 minutes, okay? We want them to make love with each other. So it's now time to add the meat. And what we do now is we put the meat in there. Now what we want to achieve now is we want to brown the meat, okay? We want both sides to be brown, so stir. We do this for a few minutes until the meat is nice and brown. We have a medium-high temperature here. We want to make sure the meat makes love with the soffritto, okay? Don't forget flavors. See, it's already browning the meat, won't take long. Just stir, okay? Just keep stirring. That's all you need to do for now. All right, guys, what we do now is we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of plain flour. And now what the flour is gonna do is gonna create a little bit of cream, the cream that we want. And it covers the meat, which is a very nice texture it's gonna give to our meat. Okay, here it is. Okay, now the flour absorbed all the oil. See, it's getting very dry in there. So it's time for us to add the red wine, okay? So 1 glass of red wine. Here we go. Guys, if you don't wanna use wine, don't worry, you can use water or stock. But see what happened now with the wine? Look at the cream. Because of the flour, look at that beautiful cream that we created at the bottom here. I just want you to make sure you have a look. Look at this beautiful cream, okay? This wonderful cream is gonna give, again, important flavors to our braised beef, okay? So the meat is absorbing the red wine. As you can see, the red wine right now, it's evaporated. There is nothing left in there. Now is the time for the tomato sauce, okay? The wine evaporated, the tomato sauce can go. And here we go, baby. Here we go. Tomato sauce means flavors. So now we cover every single piece of meat with the tomato sauce. Yum, yum. Oh my God, look how beautiful it is. Look how beautiful this is. Now at this point, only at this point, we're gonna put a nice pinch of salt, a generous amount of pepper, and keep stirring. Keep stirring. Oh yeah. Now let's add more flavors, okay? So here I have bay leaf, which I'm going to break and just put it in there, okay? So here we go. Put a bay leaf everywhere. I'm gonna add some rosemary, okay? I'm just gonna put the rosemary in there, and what I'm doing here, I'm going to put they all stick in there, okay, to give flavor, okay? And now what we do, we're gonna put the stock. 1 liter of stock to this pot. The meat is covered. We want all the ingredients now to be in a large pot, making love together. Now this is a fantastic Sunday meal. You can have some leftovers for lunch tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. Now from this moment, we are going to cook this for 2 hours, okay? 2 hours from now. And in 1 hour, we are going to add the potatoes in there. Oh, the potatoes are gonna be fantastic, and the starch that the potatoes release, that will make this creamier. Yummy flavors. After 1 hour, we'll smell these beautiful flavors. Oh, this is comfort food at its best. Yum. Now it's time for the potatoes to go in, okay? What I've done, I washed the potatoes, I put them inside, and now we want the potatoes to make love with the meat and everything else. Now what I want to do, I want to remove the stem from the rosemary because, see, there is nothing left, so we don't need this. We keep stirring and we cook for an extra hour at very medium low temperature. You know, don't burn your meat, don't stress your meat. You want to cook it for longer than 2 hours? Go for it. 3 hours, even better. Hey guys, it is the moment we've been waiting for. After more than 2 hours of cooking this, here it is. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, look at the meat. The smell. Oh, the potatoes, they helped to make it creamier. See how creamy this sauce became? Look how creamy, look how beautiful this is. Look at that. Thanks to the potatoes, because of the starch in the potatoes. The meat is super moist. We have to try it, but you have to make sure it's cooked to perfection. Look at this. That's how you make an Italian braised beef. Let's serve. It disappeared. It disappeared. It's gone. Last but not least, the cake of the day. It's a beautiful lemon ricotta cake, Vincenzo's plate style. I want you to enjoy it as much as I do. And you know what? This is even good for breakfast. Or when you feel like it, you get a nice piece of cake and you dunk it in your coffee. Oh. This is an Italian lemon ricotta cake. Moist, delicious, and it will bring joy into your belly. Before we make the cake, turn the oven on at 180 degrees Celsius. I am choosing to use fan forced. You can use conventional. It's up to you. You pick the one that you prefer. Now, before we get the juice, I like to get the lemon zest from half lemon. It's more than enough. Now that we have the lemon zest in there, we can add the eggs. First thing to do, we start by beating the eggs, okay? Now, we want to get the juice out of this lemon. Beautiful, beautiful lemon, okay? So we get the juice out, get the juice of 1 lemon. Now, it's so important that you get the lemon juice because this is the flavor of the cake. So you need to get this. You need to get as much juice as you can, okay? We don't want to serve the cake with pits, okay? That's not good. Oh my God, how many pits do I have in there? Perfect. Now it's time to rock and roll. Come on. As we beat the eggs, we are gonna add the sugar a little bit at a time, okay? Now we add the lemon juice. The sunflower oil, we add the milk. Now it's time to add the ricotta. The ricotta is such an important ingredient because it keeps a beautiful cake nice and moist. Gently mix. Spread the ricotta everywhere. Now it's time for the teaspoon of vanilla extract. We add a little bit of flour, not too much, just a little bit, and mix. Oh, look at that. It's turning into a cream, that's what we want. At this point, we add the baking powder and add more the rest of the flour. And now we mix. Do it gently, take your time, get all the flour from the edges. And here we are, guys. The beautiful dough has been done. The cake mix, it's ready. Look, guys, this is the consistency that you want to achieve, okay? If it's not like this, if it's not this runny, you want to add more milk, okay? But you should be able to get this consistency. Okay, now let's put the cake mix in the tin. Oh, beautiful. This baby is now ready to be cooked at 180 degrees Celsius. I'm using the oven fan forced. You can also use conventional, up to you. All I recommend is keep an eye on the top. When you want that to rise, and when it becomes golden brown, you are ready to take it out. Okay, so keep an eye. You don't want to burn the top part. So 50 minutes, 1 hour, that's the time that it can take. Guys, the cake, it's ready. It's been cooking for 53 minutes, so it's ready. What I do now, I switch off the oven, okay? And I leave the cake in there for about 10, maximum 20 minutes. That way, it's not gonna go down. You know, it will stay nice, up, and strong, okay? Just leave it in there. Ah, look how beautiful this is. Ah, it smells so good. Ladies and gentlemen, the lemon ricotta cake is here, ready for you to be eaten. It's nice and warm, nice and hot. You know what, guys? I can eat it nice and hot. But we're gonna wait a little bit. We're gonna wait until it cools down, okay? I will wait for you. When you take it out of the oven, we need to do the toothpick test. Basically, it's gonna show us if it's cooked inside or not. So what we do is we pick like a place with a hole, like here. There's a hole there. So I'm gonna put a toothpick in, take it out, and as you can see, it's cooked. What you can see because there is no runny, there's no cream coming out. If this was still raw inside, this would be wet and creamy, but it's not. So a cake, it's ready. What I like to do is I like to cover my cake without foil, so it stays nice and moist while it cools down. I need to cut the cake. It's still warm and I cannot wait for this cake to get cold. I need to have the cake now. All right, time to unveil this cake. Let's take it out of the tin. Ah, still nice and warm. To be honest, I like it warm. Let's remove baking paper. The sides of the cake are nice. Let's see if the bottom is cooked. Woohoo! Let's reveal this. You ready, guys? Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Hello, baby. Oh, fantastic. I love it. Now let's place the cake on a nice plate. Now we're gonna decorate it with some beautiful icing sugar. Yeah, hello. What you can do now, guys, you can have it the way it is. That's how I like it. You can put some raspberries or strawberries on top. You can serve it with ice cream. I like it the way it is, but you do whatever you like. So I like to place some beautiful raspberries on top and put it back on the chopping board. I just like it more. Let's cut it and let's reveal this wonderful cake. Oh, it's nice and moist. It's nice and moist. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted. And now, guys, are you ready for the big reveal? Are you ready? And here it is. The Italian lemon and ricotta cake. And look at the structure in there. Look, you can see how moist this is. You can see the moisture. Look at the beautiful, moist, sweet bread. Oh, look at that. It came out perfect. Now, guys, it's all up to you. You do what you want. You can add chocolate, ice cream, any type of fruit that you want. Anything, honestly. You decorate it the way you want it. And for me, I'm ready to eat. There's nothing else to do. This deserves to be eaten. All right, guys, now it's time to check how moist this is. Ready? Let's cut it with a fork. Yum. Nice and moist. The moment I've been waiting for. Eating time. You ready? So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what menu I need to create for you. I hope you had a good time. I enjoy this food. This is comfort food at its best. Don't forget, you can get my apron, merchandising, and also I'll make your pasta you can't refuse t-shirt. Just go in the link below and buy as many as you want. So thank you so much. I'll see you in the next Vincenzo's Plate video recipe. E ora si mangia. Vincenzo's Plate.